Namaste. So today I'm going to do my completed pages for May, and those who have seen my April haul video will sort of guess why I'm showing this stack over here. For those who have not seen it, I would recommend you go and see it so that you know why I have kept the books like this. Anyways, given the fact that I had so many books in April, I decided that the only way that I can tackle it and justify the fact that I had purchased so many books is that I color in as many books as possible. What I decided was I will try and color at least one page in every new book that I have purchased. Sorry about the noise of the vehicle. Uh, So I have tried my best. There are still quite a few books which I have not yet colored even a single page. Um, but then, but that stack is going lower and lower, and I'm very glad that I attempted at least these many books. Now, of course, the stack is looking much higher because of the, if you see the second book from bottom, is the David Hinkin Jr.'s volume 1 to 10 in one. So actually I've completed only one page from that, but because it is having 10 volumes in one single book, it's looking so high. And also if you see the books about that, there are some books which are pretty thick. So those are the 100 magnificent mandala books. But somehow looking at this is giving me a little bit of satisfaction that at least I am making worth the money that I have spent on these ones. So let's get started and check what I completed in the month of May. So before we proceed on to the completed pages, I would like to show you some of the work in progress that I have. So one is this Mystery Tots, and I'm currently working on this one. So I've kept the pen here so that I don't mix the colors on that one. Then I'm working on this book. It was also one of the books that I had purchased in April, and I'm in progress to complete this one, but this is with pencils and it's taking a bit longer. Somehow coloring with pencils actually always gives me more satisfaction, but it takes longer. So even this, though this picture is quite small, it's taking me a bit of a long time, but I am sure I'll be able to finish it in the next month. Then another one of my new books was this one, and though I was very excited when I purchased this because I didn't know what is inside, when I did a flip through, you can see it in my video where I did the flip through. I was very unhappy because there were so many animals in this one. However, I decided to go with the picture which had attracted me to this book in the first place, and which was the cover picture. So I have started working on this. So let's see how this one goes. And then another one work in progress is this one, the spiroglyphics, and I have started on the first one. Currently the first book that I want to finish is actually this, and my second attempt at finishing for the next month will be this. And these two books are the ones I go to when I need to just de-stress and when I don't want to do any, what you would call as serious coloring, because they are very easy and they are more like more distressing than the others. So now let's move on to the actually completed ones. Okay, so I did complete one spiroglyphic out of the other book that I have, and I have actually posted a video on my channel. You can check it out, and this is about my first ever attempt at this type of activity, and I have posted my experience on how it was. I did like the whole process, but it was quite strenuous, and it is a lot more difficult than it seems. Why am I not able to do this? Okay, so this is the one, and in this one I have attempted to color this book inside out. So I actually started from the inside and then I went out. In the one which I just showed you, the work in progress, I have started doing it from out to in because that's how I would like to try it. But I don't want to do that the third attempt because I'm very uncomfortable still with the process. I'm doing whatever I feel is correct. So it was not a bad idea to follow my instinct, and this actually has turned out to be quite good. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so that's the whole book. So this one I have finished on the 9th of May. One of the new books that I had purchased were the Indian books, right? I wanted to see what type of Indian books are around in the coloring community, and I found some on Amazon. Now, if you have seen my unboxing and the review of this book, you will know of two things. One is that I was struggling very hard to find the part 1 of this one, and I actually gave it a bad review. I actually did when I did the review. But this book made me eat my words. It is so fulfilling to color in this book that I have actually spent some time on Amazon and I found the part 1, and I have decided to order that one. It's just lying in my, what you would say, basket, shopping cart. It's lying in my shopping cart because I promised myself I will not buy any more coloring books in May. So that is why it is still pending. But it's in my cart and I'm just waiting for the month to get over, and then I will order the part 1. And I'll show you the 2 pages that I have finished in this one to show you why I really liked this book so much. So when I actually did a flip through, I didn't find anything really Indian. Frankly, in that concept, I would say there's nothing really Indian about this. But just look how beautiful the picture is looking after it's been completed. And I did nothing except for straight coloring with alcohol markers, and it took me less than 30 minutes to finish this one. And the final look is so beautiful, so vibrant. I know it goes a long way on what color combinations you have chosen also to make it look like this, but the fact that it was so easy to color really helped me change my mind about this book. So I'm very happy that I have actually purchased this book. I was initially very apprehensive that maybe I made a wrong choice, but I think no, I actually did a good thing by buying this one. And I did one more page, and I think I will, and look, but this with my alcohol markers, what's happening, it's spoiling the pages. And this is not because I didn't keep a barrier, it's because I removed the barrier after I had colored the page. So see, even here it's staining. Again, if any of you all know of any alcohol marker which does not stain, please do let me know, because I'm getting very worried every time I color something, is that in the future when I come back to this book maybe a year or 2 down, it would have really spoiled everything. I really doubt if I am going to be able to salvage this page, for example. Or else at least give me a suggestion on what to do. I really don't want to spend money on paper to put as barriers. So I need to think of something. But this is too much, literally. Anyways, coming back to happier things. So this is the second picture that I completed in this book, and I'm really happy with the way it is going, and I think I will attempt a lot more out of this. I'm not a very big fan of designs like this, but yeah, something like this I am surely looking forward to this now that I have had a very good experience with this book. Then these are the Creative Haven books. I really went crazy in April buying a lot of Creative Haven books. So I decided that I will color in as many Creative Heaven books, or actually all the new books as much as possible. But the Creative Heaven books were a bit more easier to attempt because I do really love geometric patterns, and a lot of the ones which I had purchased from this publishing house were geometric designs of some sort or the other. So I have colored one page from this Good Vibrations by John Wick, and this is the one. And again you can see the alcohol markers have left a mark on this one. So this is the first attempt, and see how badly it has stained the back page. I am not sure if I can even salvage this. I really need to find a solution. Okay, sorry for keeping on repeating that, but this is really irking me a lot. So anyways, this was one of the first books that I finished in May, actually, 5th of May. Not book, sorry, only the page. So there are some errors in this which I did because I calculated the squares wrongly, but they are not so visible, so it's fine. Then I did a page from this Terrific Tessellations, and let's see. So in this one I decided to try and start from the back side just to avoid, because see again here how much of staining has happened. It's literally the whole pattern has got printed over here. So I'm trying to see if I do the book backwards, will it help? But frankly it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect this page at this point of time. But whenever I visit this book 2 or 3 years down the line, I have a feeling that I'm not going to like what I see unless I find a solution for this one. So anyways, so this one I finished on 13th of May, and I again did with alcohol markers, as is very clearly visible from all the staining that has happened. Then I also did a page from Dimensions again by John Wick, and I did the first page in this one. So surprisingly this one has not stained anything, so I think it's certain colors that is doing that. So I'll try and avoid those ones in future. For this one I was trying to attempt different shades of the same color, so I tried all hues of red and pink sort of things. So this is from that book. Then I did Wild Speculations. It's the one I attempted. Again for this one I decided to do from back to front. Look how bad it is. So this one I finished on 15th of May, and it was actually quite fun. I was a bit concerned about how I'm going to attempt it, because I know if you look at this picture before it was colored, actually this is supposed to be fish, and I should have chosen colors which should have made it possible for the design to reflect the fish when I finished coloring it. But frankly, I was least bothered about that. I didn't care if you can make out it was fish or not. I just thought I have purchased this book as a book of geometric designs, and that's how I'm going to attempt coloring it, and that's why you see what you see here. So I'm looking forward to coloring more. This book, I really don't like this book. I'm sorry people, I know there are a lot of people out there who like this one, but my experience with this book has not been good at all. Okay, I did 2 pages from this. The first one was a complete disaster. I did one more page just to, you know, calm myself down, thinking maybe it was just a one-off and maybe we can do one more. But no, both my experiences in this book have been so bad. I am wondering if I will go back to this book. Okay, so this is the first one. So as it is, there's no index, no reference guide, nothing. I had to actually look it up what colors I have to use in this one, and then one by one I had to do it. Also in some of the spaces the numbers were missing, and I have just put what I thought would be a correct sequence, but I'm not really sure about that. Another thing from my end also, I think I have chosen wrong colors. So for example, when they said peach, or when they said orange, orangish yellow or whatever, I don't think that's the colors that I have chosen. So some blame on me also. But I really hate it when color by number books don't have the numbers in the space. So it's really, I mean, very bad for them to not do the proof checking on that one. And then I attempted this one, and it was a disaster. I chose this one because it's having only basically three colors, and one outer color, and I tried it with alcohol markers because the spaces seemed big enough. But you know, with alcohol markers you just can't control the spreading, and it was just, I mean, from this distance it's looking a lot better than I can see it in reality. It is really, really bad. It looks like a child has done some coloring. So not very happy with this book at all. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with it in the coming days. Now the next one which I did, again color by number, and I attempted the first one out of this. If you see the color index that they have given over here, I have actually chosen as close to this as possible. And I don't know if you can see, but if you see this one 19, and if you see this tag color, it's purple, right? It's very close to that, and that's the color I chose. And then when I put it down, apparently it was for the clouds. So I don't know why they gave this color. So I was a bit like surprised when I was putting in the colors, but then it's fine. Ultimately, the point was to have a good picture, and I can say one thing for sure. I mean, the color choice aside, uh, this picture is really looking very nice. It's better than most of the color by number books, usually how they turn out to be. And I'm really glad that I have finished this one, and I'm really looking forward to the others. So I like this one. I like this book very much. um, Moving on to a few more geometric patterns. So this was the 1 to 10 David Hinkin Jr. Book that I had purchased. And one thing I realized it with is with his books, since the picture goes right down into the margin, it is going to be very difficult for me to color as I go further and further, because see, it's like the book literally topples over. However, since I was coloring the first page, it was not so bad because I had such a thick book as a base, and it really made it easier. Okay, and then I also did, so I did the first page from his first book, and then I did a page from his last book also, or the last book that I have. Okay, and I chose this one, and I actually ended up making a mistake in this one, and I realized it much later, but by then the damage was already done. I'm not going to point out what the mistake was, because ultimately it looks quite fine, and the mistake is not very glaring, so you really can't make out with so many small pieces which have been colored. Then I did two Jade Summer uh, colors. I actually was planning to do more of Jade Summer. I don't know why I didn't do it. I remember when I started the month, I had selected a few books from which I am going to start attempting, and I had kept Chibi Girls 2, which I have not yet touched. No. Anyways, so enough of my rambling. So I finished this one, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I must say that I actually cheated a bit because I didn't do a lot of things on the background, and because it's grayscale, I just got away with it. The sky I have not touched, not even put any color, not even a single color. So I have literally cheated on that one. I have actually used glitter gel pens, which if you remember, I have done a review on those also, and I don't know if you can make out. Yeah, they. So I decided to do that for her, mm, like her sash on the waist and the purse and the bracelet and her shoes, just to use the pens a little bit more than anything else. And then this was in fact one of the first books that I purchased deviating from geometric uh, designs and mandalas. If you look up for this book, I have done a flip through. It will be in the playlist for flip throughs. And on my channel, if I'm not wrong, this is the second or the third video that I have posted on my channel. So it's like I had really, it was one of the first steps that I took towards coloring something different. And it took me so long to even color anything. So this is the page, and again the beautiful stains from the alcohol markers, but I colored this one, and I should say I'm okay with the outcome, but I would have really preferred a little more shading, but I was too lazy and I just did it with markers. So it's not looking bad, but it's not what I would like. I would have preferred it. I would have invested more time and made a little shading with pencils or something. And also, if you see, this was so stupid. I realized it after I did it. The beam and the pan are like the same color. Who does that? I'm so weird. Anyways, I hope the next pages that I color in this would be a little different. Then I had purchased this one. Actually, I was purchasing the Special Arts 100 Magnificent Mandalas, those three books for the whole series. And while I was purchasing that, I found this book also, and it's from a different publisher. But the concept is basically the same. These are stock images, but these ones are also quite nice. And I have colored one from this one, and this is the one. So this is from that book. It's a different one, Creative Mandala, but if you see the special art books, you will feel that it's very similar. So example, see this one, right? It looks like the same. It is the same size and everything. It's very similar concept. Then I did this one is the volume 2, and I did one page from this one. I have done a flip through of this book on my channel. Please have a look at it. And if you don't have this book, please purchase it. I'm telling you, it's really worth the investment. I have the links in the descriptions. So I colored this one, and then I did one from this one also. So this doesn't have a number, so that means this is part 1. I did one from this. It's the one. I think so. And I think I did one, yeah. And this is the volume 3. So I did one mandala from each of this 3 books series, and here I finished this one. So I also liked how the colors have come out. Then I had purchased the black background Sun Life. I think this is the Sun Life drawing. Yeah, Sun Life drawing. I already had this same book in the white background with color by number. So this time I purchased the black background without color by number. Not for any other reason, but I wanted a mandala book with black background, and they seem to have the same mandalas in some different versions. I just did this cover page, and I think in fact this was the first thing I colored in this month, because I can see here that this is the 1st of May that I have finished this, and I tried it with markers and it seems to have sustained well. So I'm happy with that, because it means I can color this book with markers. Then this one is the India book, which I actually gave very good reviews, and I colored one picture out of this. actually did a photo frame, and I was actually very tired that day, and I was in the mood to color but no energy. So I decided to select this, and I didn't make it any fancy, and I didn't fill the page, and I used only metallic gel pen, so you can see. And I should say I'm a bit ashamed that I actually gave a very bad review to those metallic gel pens. They are not as bad once I started using them. But yeah, well, in the meantime, I had actually found the part 2 of this one, and I colored one out of this, and I should say it's not bad, uh, but I still prefer the part 1 more. Mm, but I think this is quite fine. Then uh, this is the book which I have actually finished completely. I have finished the whole book. There are 2 pages in this book which I have not colored, but I am not going to attempt them. It's a very rare thing for me to actually abandon any pages, but I really don't like these 2 pages out of this book. So I have finished this whole book. Of course, I have done a complete flip through of the completed book separately. However, let me show you what I finished in May, because that's what this video is for. So I finished this one. I did this one with marker, and this again, this is also with markers. Actually, because I did it with markers, I was able to finish this book quite fast, because with gel pens it would have taken me a very long time. See, there's a lot of staining. I really loved how this one has come out. I wish I could come up with such nice color combinations more. But see how it's getting spoiled with all this staining from the previous page. Not this one, sorry. Yeah, this. So that's it for the month of May, and I hope you liked what I have colored, and I would be glad if you can leave your suggestions, comments, criticism. You can actually even leave a dislike on the like button if you didn't like it, and or if you think I talk too much. Yeah, sometimes that is also a problem. So but do react to it if you have watched this video. I would really appreciate it if you could please subscribe, and have a nice day. I will come back with more videos in the future. Thank you. Bye.